Okay, test. 1, 2, 3, 4. Test. 1, 2, 3, 4.
time, so at this time I'd like to call the meeting to order and begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, Madam Secretary.
Mr. Christmas? Mr. Fedorcha? Ms. Franz?
Here, Mary is here.
I'm sorry. Present.
Present? Sorry. Ms. Husak? Here. Ms. Culp? Here. Ms. Snyder?
Here.
Ms. Williams?
Here.
Mr. Green?
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. It's public comment. I'm not sure what public comment would be, but it's on there. Anyone have any public comment? No, nothing on the list? Okay. Anything, Superintendent, this evening?
There is no superintendent's report this evening, sir.
All right, thank you. Okay, we'll go to the other item then. You're asking him to check the
Yep.
sheet? Okay. Just give him a second in case somebody signed in.
Thank you, Mr. Mann. We have Mr. Van Norman here that said he would like to comment on the open board position, but I believe you are also a candidate for the.
Yes, did I check it or not?
Yeah, you just
I didn't
noted.
know what I need to
Yeah.
do, so I want to cover all my bases.
Yep, understood.
No public comment this time.
Appreciate it. Thank you, sir. And that's it.
Okay, let me just go over this so everybody's on the same page. We're gonna open the motion. We have, I think, 2 applicants at this point in time. Those people will need to be nominated. We will then vote on those people. 5 votes wins. If after the first round, and I want everybody to understand this, if after the first round no one gets 5 votes, I will reopen nominations, okay? And since if no one gets 5 votes, everyone technically is on the losing side, so anyone can make a motion because you were on the losing side. I will take a second nomination, we will re-vote. I'm out of order now, but I think we have 2 excellent candidates, and I hope this board can come together and nominate one of them. I don't want it to go to Lehigh County Court, which it will in about 3 days, so having said all that, everybody okay with the procedure? We all got it down here? Everybody okay? Okay. We need a motion to open nominations.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Fedorcha, in a second. Discussion or questions? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. And so ordered. And it doesn't say so, but now I would take nominations for the school director.
No, wait a minute, I thought, so we don't do the interviews like we used to?
I'm sorry?
We don't do the interviews like we used to do?
Let's take the motions and then we'll do the interview sheet, okay?
Okay.
We need them to be nominated first, so technically.
Okay,
You want to nominate someone?
no.
No? Anyone nominate, anyone?
I'll nominate Ryan Van Norman.
I'm sorry?
I'll nominate Ryan Van Norman.
Okay. Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Ryan Van Norman has been nominated for the position. Are there any other nominations? Hearing none.
Mr.
is
Green,
there- Oh.
I think to hear both, I would like to nominate Mr. Weber.
You're gonna
Also.
You're going to nominate him?
I'll second it.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
We would like to hear, I would like to hear from both candidates.
Okay, so you're nominating
I
Mr.
agree.
Weber.
Yes.
Now, you were about 1 second away from closing nominations.
Sorry.
Okay, Mr. Weber has been nominated. Okay,
I move to close nominations, sir.
is there a second to that?
Second.
Okay, all those in favor of closing nominations, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. And so ordered. Mr. Van Norman, you were nominated first, so if you would like to ask the questions. I think you have his resume in front of you. You gonna do it? Or you want me to-
Traditionally, you have done it, sir?
You want me to do it? Okay.
Mr.
Why are you-
Dean, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Can we have both candidates in at this time?
I'm sorry?
Can we have both candidates in at this time?
Yeah, you should probably be the room too. Yeah.
I thought that's what we did previously, we only had the individual candidate. in.
So if he comes up with some wonderful answers, you know, so. Thank you,
I
Tim.
concur.
Why are you interested in being on the Northern Lehigh School Board?
I've been involved in many community aspects throughout my life, 20 years in education and still going. Started as a school teacher. I did my student teaching here at Northern Lehigh, expanded past that into middle school teaching, high school teaching, then went to vocational school, teaching high school students. I don't have any type of agenda. I've been involved with lots of community aspects, and I saw a board opening. It's short-term, it's like filling a long-term sub. I've worked within board positions, I'm still in multiple boards, just realizing if there was a vacancy and you need somebody to fill it, I have plenty of knowledge within the school setting to assist if needed. And if I'm the best candidate or you feel I fit that need for that short time frame, so be it.
Thank you. What do you feel you can offer the school board?
Just background knowledge from my years in education, went through superintendent courses, I have to deal with it on a daily basis, everything from personnel, HR. One of the other boards I'm part of as far as fiscal responsibility, understanding budgets, maintaining those budgets, also balancing that with what is the true need, and with that true need, are we doing the best for our community and our students at the same time? So I believe that's what I can offer with my experience going forward.
Experience. Thank you. What do you feel is the biggest challenge to public education today?
We don't have enough time in saying so, but honestly, with all those, anything that comes up can be a challenge. It depends on what the focus and need is at the time. But honestly, everything that comes across the board is very important to deal with. So as far as the biggest challenge, it's no doubt that the financial aspect of funding everything going forward is the biggest thing right now in schools, and raising taxes. Taxes are part of it. Everything goes up, but in the same aspect, how can you do that responsibly and keeping all the students in mind and staff to make sure we can keep it moving forward and not lose any important aspects of what this district can provide to our students.
Okay, thank you. In the last 2 years, approximately how many school board meetings or committee meetings have you attended?
For this school, 0.
Okay. Did you see any online or streaming?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Yeah, I did attend in person 2 years, maybe 3 years ago. I was at one, but no, I have not been in person.
Okay. Are there any other questions for the candidate? I'm looking right. Anybody down here? Anything? No? Looking left? No? We thank you for your time, and we will now excuse you and send Tim in, and we'll go from there. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Norman.
Thank you, Ryan. Should have went home. There he comes. Okay, thank you for applying for the position. We have a couple of questions for you this evening. Uh, Question number one, why are you interested in being on the school board?
Well, I have been a part of the school district for all my life. I moved here when I was in middle school in 6th grade. I graduated from Northern Lehigh. Both my daughters graduated from Northern Lehigh. I was a teacher and educator with the district for over 28 years. In many of my roles, I have been able to attend the school board meetings for well over 14 years and value the leadership responsibilities of the board and feel it's very important.
Thank you. What do you feel you can offer the school board?
Well, my experience in education, which anybody with educational experience could bring that also. I'm not sure about the other candidate. But also, as I said, I've lived and I've been a part of this district for well over 30 years. I've also been, if you look at my resume, I was on a board for a children's camp for well over 10 years and was able to experience leadership in that role, served as the secretary for that board. So I've had experience in other leadership responsibilities with budgets. I worked in the district with developing curriculum, writing grants. But the biggest thing for me is the fact that I want the success of the district, the success of the students, each student here in the district, and that's my main goal.
Okay, thank you. What do you feel is the biggest challenge to public education today?
Funding.
That didn't take long.
No.
Thank you. Last question. In the last 2 years, approximately how many Northern Lehigh School Board and committees have you attended?
In the last year,
2 years.
in 2 years, I'm guessing we have one every month and then a committee meeting every month, except for summertime. So I'm guessing 40 maybe in the past 2 years, committee meetings and board meetings.
We have seen your face once or twice. Any other questions for Mr. Weber? Looking right, anyone down here? Anything? No? Looking left? No? Well, thank you for your time, Mr. Weber, and if you want to bring back the other candidate. Is she going to swear the candidate? I don't know, where are these guys going out there? Hello?
Yeah.
Mr. Weaver, would you like to see where he is? I mean,
They're coming, they're coming.
Oh, you see him coming? Oh, you saw a shadow, okay.
Oh, okay. The conference room.
Oh. It's a good time order.
There we go.
Thank you.
Okay, at this time, we've heard the questions, we've done the vetting that we need to do, so it's time to take a vote. Mr. Van Norman was nominated first, so, sorry, I got it on here, I can do that, that's fine. I'm gonna do it this way, because we always do it this way. All those in favor of Mr. Van Norman, please indicate by saying aye. Those opposed, no.
No.
Let's have a roll call. Yes.
So our solicitor suggested that we actually read this motion here and fill in a name to be legally compliant.
Okay. Motion of the Board of School Directors to appoint blank as school director of the Northern Lehigh School District to serve in the position until the end of the board reorganization meeting. Okay, and what they're saying is, thanks for applying, but it's only like a 4-month position, unfortunately, the way the voting went. If it had happened like a month and a half later, it would have been closer to the primary, and it would have been the full 2 years plus, but it's in that short window where it will only last until the reorganization and meeting. So it's really a 4-month position. We have an individual here tonight to swear a successful candidate, and if we have one, so you will be officially a member for July, August, August, September, October, November for the 4-month, okay?
And if I may, sir, just for a little additional clarity on that, it's because Mr. Kern resigned his position with more than 2 years before his term naturally ended. So that's another way of looking at the timeline that Mr. Green just described.
Yeah, but it wasn't, if it had been later, you would have served 2+ years, but it wasn't. So it's about as short a term as you can possibly be appointed to, the way the law works. And I don't want to talk election law, that's not why I'm here, but I know that it's only a 4-month appointment, so. Okay, again, having said that, we did not have a unanimous vote, so we'll have a roll call, Madam Secretary.
Mr. Fedorcha,
Yes.
Ms. Franz,
Yes.
Ms. Husak, yes. Ms. Cole,
Yes.
Ms. Snyder,
Yes.
Ms. Williams,
No.
Mr. Green.
No.
We do have 5 votes for Ryan. 4 or 5. Motion passes.
Congratulations, Mr. Van Norman, you have been elected to newest school board member. You want to officially have him sworn in now?
We can. I would truly like to thank Mr. Weber for applying for the position. I do appreciate all your dedication to the Northern Lehigh School District, and I hope you continue to participate in our meetings, Mr. Weber. Thank you. We can swear in Mr. Van Norman now. We have our school district notary here, Mrs. King. Mr. Van Norman, if you can step forward, and Mrs. King, if you can please swear him in at this time. Sure. Sure.
You're going to raise your right hand, please. I state your name.
Ryan Van Norman,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support,
that I will support,
obey,
obey,
and defend the Constitution of the United States
and defend the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and that I shall fulfill the duties
and I shall fulfill the duties
of my position as School Board Director
as with my position as School Board Director
for the Northern Lehigh School District
for the Northern Lehigh School District
with fidelity.
with fidelity.
Congratulations.
And just one more thing, I'm going to have you print and sign your name here, and then I will notarize it for you.
I think that concludes the business. There's no other business unless you have anything else that you want to address this evening.
No, sir.
No, sir? Okay, we have a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor of adjourn, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. And so ordered. Okay, we'll take about 2 minutes, and then we'll start with our committee meeting. And I don't have that agenda in front of me, but
I think it's under here at the
it's on the
bottom.
back. first meeting we're gonna have tonight is the education meeting. Since our chairperson, Mr. Kern, is no longer with us, our new chairperson will be,
That's what you get to decide.
that's you. So you're in charge of opening the education meeting.
Hello?
You're up, you're the boss.
Do I have a stick time? No? Okay. Opening up the educational committee meeting. And do I get to pass it off to Dr. Soberlin?
You do.
Excellent.
So I hear you saying, Mr. Green, that he will be the new chair of our committee?
Yes,
Okay.
he's gonna replace Mr. Kern as chairman of this committee, and I think he's vice chair of, is it curriculum? Help me out.
Extra.
ECC.
Extra co-curricular.
Yep.
He's also curriculum, but also for This evening, ECC.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Welcome to Education Committee. So our next item on the agenda is our Title I school-wide plan. Title I provides financial assistance to schools that have a highly economic disadvantaged population. Northern Lehigh School District is trending around 50%. We have CEP lunch right now, so we don't have a very accurate number just because we don't collect Title I forms anymore, but Nikki does a really nice job to direct certify people, but we think we're somewhere around 50% or more. So with that, we receive a Title I grant through our federal programs. For 25-26, we're looking at $413,669. That has been released to the district, and then I'm sure that you've been looking at the situation that's been going on in the federal government with Title II, III, and IV not having been released yet. So Title I we know how much that's gonna be, and we've allocated that for 3 teachers at Peters and 3 teachers at Slatington. It does not pay the full salary and benefits, but it does pay the partial salary and benefits of 3 people in each of those buildings. I'm going to turn things over to Mr. Schneiderite at Peters and then Mr. Briner at Slatington just to briefly talk about what will be in the 25-26 school-wide plans.
Thank you,
Mr.
Dr.
Schneiderite.
Stoker. Good evening, distinguished board members. Welcome back to a hopefully wonderful school year. Just a reminder that as part of our plan creation, there's a big process that goes into it. We meet on a monthly basis with our families. We share information regarding Title I with our families. We send out a survey, and then at the end of the year, we actually meet with families and stakeholders, including community members, to basically discuss this plan. And then over the summer, Mr. Briner and I work at the individual level to put that together with data as well as information from families. Okay, so this year at Peters, our goal is related to early literacy. What I look to do is some of the data I presented to you at the end of the year, sort of snapshot of the school year's data last year. The one area that stood out more than others was kindergarten end of the year literacy. Students are rated at benchmark or above benchmark. It was a pretty good number. It was better than it's been in years, but it was still 69%. So our goal always is to shoot for 80%. We want students in 2nd grade to go on to 3rd grade, meeting what we consider the MTSS triangle. Ideally, 80% of our student body should be proficient or on grade level, and then typically it's 80, 15, 5. So what I'm looking to do, my goal this year is going to be to increase that 69% of kindergarten. We're looking at the same students who are now in 1st grade, and we're looking to, by the end of this next school year, raise that by 6 percentage points, working towards a 75%, with the hopeful goal that by the time they reach 2nd grade, it's up to 80%. Also, and it's not literally part of the written goal, but our always goal since I've been principal here at Peters is family engagement. So we're going to continue, Mr. Briner and I, engaging with our families on a monthly basis, and we're trying to, again, receive and take family feedback into mind as we plan for another year of family engagement meetings. So I'll turn it over to Mr. Briner.
Thank you, Mr. Schneiderite. Good evening, everyone. Everyone's having a great summer so far, and welcome back to the school year. Just to add on to what Mr. Schneiderite said about family engagement, one of the things I think we toy with every year, and it's part of the feedback that we get every year, is trying to figure out a way to get people more involved. So we've done meetings at different times of the day. We've done them in the mornings, we've done them in the evenings, we've done them late evenings, we've flip-flopped back and forth, we've had childcare at them. So this year we're going back to, based on the feedback, back to kind of later evening meetings to hopefully bring in more people, and also do the meetings virtually, which we have in the past as well. In terms of my Title I kind of goals that are written in the plan, again, focused very similar to Mr. Schneiderite on literacy and numeracy. In my goal, I've used IXL as the data point to focus that goal and take a look at the different how we're performing in different cohorts. So basically, I've targeted kind of a cohort that needs the most improvement, and that's going to be our fifth grade cohort. So I've kind of tracked this cohort over the course of now 2 years, and we're continuing to track this cohort, setting goals to move the cohort forward. So in IXL, if you recall, there's a point structure, and each 10 points equates to about a month. So I'm looking to move that fourth grade 120 points, so about a year and 2 months. So more than a year, and try to decrease that gap. In math, same cohort, looking at the same kind of data points, same cohort, but we're looking to move them 100 points. So we're looking to move them a year, basically a year's worth. So we are, and the reason it's 100 points there is over the course of the last couple of years, we've moved them about 80 points. We're looking to move them to 100, so jumping that up a little bit. So those are the two goals that are written in the plan, as well as detailed action plans on how we're going to get there.
Thank you. I'll just add that Title I, our federal programs are actually going to be monitored this year. That's part of our cyclical monitoring. So we are on the cycle for 25-26. Also, as part of the money we get for Title I, we have a homeless set-aside that we use to support our students that present as with homelessness. And then also there's a portion of that money that has to go to the non-public institutions wherever our students from Northern Lehigh go. The money has to follow those students who fall into that same economic category, and then we see if there are students at those schools that need remedial services as well. So we do have some non-public institutions in our district and then outside our boundaries that we serve with that money too. Okay, any questions on that?
I have a question on the family engagement. For just a question in general, are those family engagement events recorded so that a parent who may have missed going, that they can go watch it, similar to like our board meetings?
They are not right now. We did try to record them a couple of years back and really kind of struggled with the technology of that, and just compressing it down. I know that we are able to do this here, but we don't necessarily have the tech crew on hand for the family engagement meetings. The tech crew is basically me and Mr. Schneiderite when he
Mostly
can help me.
Mr. Bryan.
So it's something that we've talked about, we've done before. We also tried to record last year we had brought the CHC in to do parenting sessions, and the first recording, the microphones weren't set up right. You couldn't hear it. So it's something that we can continue to work on and do, certainly.
Just might be another avenue to let people get out there and see what's going on, and sometimes we just can't get there.
Yeah.
So.
Agreed.
When will this data be available? When will you be making a presentation? At the end of the year, or?
On the results? Yeah, so the goal is set up throughout the entire year. So obviously, it really kind of goes off of my baseline data started the fourth benchmark of last year. So I won't have the results till the fourth benchmark of this year, this upcoming year. So it'd be the end of the year when we have the results. Typically, we present it at the last family. I've been able to present the findings, the end results of the goal at our last family engagement meeting. And it's also kind of encompassed in our IXL data presentation that we give at the end of the year, usually in June.
Yep, and we have
Okay.
to report them to the state by January of the following year.
I would ask, I guess, that you remind us what your objectives were and how you made out with those. Did you reach them? Did you reach them? You know, if you can do that.
Absolutely.
Just to keep us up to date. Thank you.
Mrs. Culp, you had a question too?
Yeah, I know we get the data presentation at the end of the year. I would hope with the IXL and the data that we do have, that if we realize that we're not making progress, perhaps we look again at what other additional needs may be there and try and provide additional support instead of waiting a whole year. So that's just my input. You know, whatever we can do, if you can make this, if you can make the progress, great. But if you're getting stuck, anything we can do to try and support, that would be something I'd be in favor of.
Thank you. That's appreciated. Okay. Anything else on the Title I school-wide plan?
I just, my apology for being a whatever, but Mr. Van Norman is new here. I'm just wondering if you guys could just take a moment and just go along and say, you know, what your name is, what your title is. I don't know if you know all these people.
For the most part, yes.
For the most part,
Yeah,
you're
I don't
okay
want,
with
I don't
that?
want to eat up any more time.
Okay.
I'll pick it up as we go.
If you're comfortable with that, then we're okay.
Yeah, we
I
can
just
move
didn't
the
want to
agenda.
say, you know, who the heck is this guy? You know,
That's
and
okay.
It's like, but we've been asking the same question for years, and so we'll get there. But and the other thing, we don't vote on items at a committee meeting. In other words, if somebody, I'm looking at something, canvas license, we will not vote to get the canvas license. What we will vote on, and we don't really vote on, is give him permission to put that on the upcoming agenda for a vote, because we can't technically vote at a committee meeting.
Correct.
So when you get to that, that would be the question: are you ready to put it on the agenda? Not, are you voting in favor of it? Although there's kind of a thin line there, but that meets with the requirements of the law. And I'll be quiet now, so.
Thank you
No, I won't.
for the information.
Dr. Stoker?
Okay, not hearing any other questions on Title I, we'll move to the Comprehensive Guidance 339 plan. That plan is also something we'll be working on this year. After we finish our comprehensive plan, the following year is always the Comprehensive Guidance Plan. So this is the plan that really discusses across the district what we do to prepare students for college and career readiness. So we will look at the career education and work standards, stakeholder engagement. Our core team consists of our administrators, counselors, educators across the district, community representatives. We have higher ed that sits on that. We have our CTC that sits on that. We have business owners in the district. We have a board member. Mrs. Snyder has indicated that she's going to continue to be the liaison to our group as well. So we'll be bringing together that core group. If you turn over the paper, or if you go further down in our agenda, you'll see the tentative timeline that we have. So the August 20th in-service day, we're looking to kick off, I have an internal kickoff meeting for that plan. Also, Mr. Williams and our new assistant principal at the elementary center are also part of that core team as well. So we'll be kicking that off on August 20th internally. August 13th, we have our fall advisory council meeting. That's where we bring together the larger group and start to talk about the work that we're looking to do for this year. December 1st actually is when PDE releases the 339 plan requirements for phase 3 districts. So sometimes within those different phases, the questions that they ask or what's required in the plan changes based on law or other needs that they have. So we were hoping we would get that plan released a little bit earlier so we can start the work along with our tentative timeline in August, but we're going to start to move forward in planning some things, even though we won't know fully what's involved in the plan until December. February 6th is Spring Advisory Council meeting. That's really what we're going to talk in detail about what that plan includes so that all of our larger stakeholder group is on the same page with that. We'll right around that time post the plan for review. March 9th, we would put that as an agenda item for approval on the school board agenda, and then we would submit it by March 31st, which is when it's due to PDE through the Future Ready Comprehensive Planning Portal. So that's kind of our timeline. Anyone that wants to come to those advisory committee meetings is certainly welcome to, and we'll share out more information as we move through the school year on that. Any questions? Okay. Our next agenda item is the Bounce Back program with Valley Youth House. Mr. Schneiderite.
Great, thanks. I'm pleased to be able to bring this for your consideration tonight in thinking through this potential new program that I'm looking at Peters Elementary School. The program is through Valley Youth House. They are already a district partner with us. They have an employee coming out on a weekly basis throughout the year providing tier 1 supports for some of our students, really teaching of social skills. They presented to me the idea of this new program called the Bounce Back program. It is a school-based counseling program that's a little bit more intensive. So it's considered what I would say a tier 2 program. It's designed not for every student, but for students targeting those that are actually facing trauma. They noted some things such as loss of a family member, family separation, right? These are things that, you know, all students that are facing those type of adverse childhood experiences, you know, sometimes need support with, right? So the idea of this program is it targets that smaller group of students. You know, the process would be we would gain parent support. They would sign off that they would like their child to basically meet with the counselor. It's a 10-week program. They basically meet on 1 day a week with the students. They consider them small group counseling sessions between 2 and 3 students. They noted not more than 5. And they're not actually doing, you know, I think about counseling, sometimes you think about, we're talking about my challenges. It's not really about focused on the challenges, it's really focused on how to build the resiliency in the students to be able to address the challenges, right? They use a pre-test, post-test model, so they'll give the students a pre-test, you know, from a research-based, you know, it's called the CPSS, the Child Post-Traumatic Stress Scale. And, you know, afterwards they give it to them again and see how they're doing. This is, you know, there's also family connection with this. The idea is they will share out with the families of these students, you know, worksheets and ways in which they can support their child at home as they're continuing to work through this. So the next steps, if the board has no considerations or no concerns about it, reach out after the board meeting and basically gauge interest. Mrs. Cromer and I, our school counselor, you can probably go through our sort of notes from the last year or two and sort of determine families that might benefit from it and have those individual conversations. The group suggested to try to begin the program mid-September in order to complete the 10-week program by 2026. So hopefully before that holiday break, you know, in the new year, we'd be able to do a first round, and then if funding continues for the program through the state, we would continue to receive it for free, and if not, at that time we can say, okay, we're not going to do it anymore. So I'm not sure if there are any questions, concerns from the board, if you want to talk through it more.
Is that contingent upon the state budget getting passed this year?
Yeah, right now they have funding up until December 31st, Mrs. Culp. They said they expect funding, but you never know until things are passed. So this would guarantee us 1 session of 10 weeks with the students that, you know, need that program. And then after that, if the money goes away, then at least we got through that 1 session and provided that support. And if it continues, then we can start a second round. So,
Thank you.
yeah, but contingent, of course, on continued money.
Mr. Schneiderite, did you say there was an MOU that would need to go to the board level?
Correct. So that'll be, I mean, we're ready to present that to the board at the next meeting. So, you know, if that, you know, obviously, you know, that'll sort of highlight for the board what the, you know, agreement would be between ourselves and the Valley Youth House, the organization.
So do we have the ability of the board members present to move that to Monday night's board meeting for a vote?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks everybody.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Mrs. Dada, everyday speech.
Good evening, everyone. This is a highly engaging social skills supplemental materials for the teacher out at Peters Elementary, who has quite a few itinerant level students that come to him to have some lessons in some of the self-regulation and perspective and emotional regulations and self-esteem areas. that is within their IEP. This is supplemental material that will help him engage the students in these materials. It would be funded through the special education budget, and I know I have the quote there, it is $499 a year. And then we will reevaluate how that progresses next year. Does anybody have any questions about that? Okay.
If it helps.
Well, Yep.
How many students do you think would it's a ballpark would serve?
I'm gonna say 25. He is quite a large, with the kindergartners and first grade coming.
And we're looking to have an agenda item for this on the board.
Yes.
For Monday night as well. Do we have the ability of the board members present to move this for a vote for Monday evening as well?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Dada. Mr. Pine, canvas licenses.
And I'll be looking for the blessing of the board for two other agenda items. The first one, both of these I've mentioned in previous committee meetings. It's just now they're coming to fruition. The first one is, I believe in June, I mentioned that our Canvas implementation has reached a threshold where our user numbers are exceeding our license numbers. So I'll call that a successful implementation. But with that, for this last year, the contract comes some additional costs. So I have linked in there the quote for that, and it's an additional $732.20. And then when we renew for another contract next year, obviously we'll just increase that number for the full contract. At this time, just because it's an unexpected expense for all the buildings, the curriculum instruction budget's going to absorb the entire cost of that. And we're good to do that. So
And this is only for this year, right?
this year's the remainder of the original contract.
Negotiate the whole contract.
Correct. Yeah, then we'll start all over again. Yeah.
This school year or this calendar year?
School year.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah.
Thanks.
The licenses that are required, are those student-based or teacher-based or?
It's total users.
So that would be a parent logging in?
No. So it's
Okay.
students and or teachers. So I would guess the bulk would be students just proportionally. But honestly, I didn't go in and calculate out exactly like how many we've had an increase in each group since we've started the contract. I just went in and I looked at the analytics, and we've had an increase in users of about I want to say it's 140 or so additional users. So we bought modestly. We bought right at our threshold at that time. So any increases we weren't really ready for because we didn't really know where we were going to reach the limits of when we sort of put this in place. So
Can you confirm for me, and I apologize, I just don't remember, the grade levels Canvas is covering now? Is it now K through 12 or was it just high school, middle school?
K through 12.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Thank you.
And are any paraprofessionals, in educational paras?
Correct.
Will
Yes,
be part of that
they
too?
would be included in that group
In
as
case
well.
they were-
So again, like that's an area where as we've seen some increases. I mean, those are additional licenses because they also have access to the
Access.
platform. Yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely. Yeah.
I'd love to see some data as far as like who's using it and who's continuing
Sure.
to use it, because I know a license, you get it, and are you really using it? I guess that's part of what my,
Yeah, sure. I mean, I can either get that ready for an update very easily,
Yeah.
or we can plan that for a future committee meeting. And I mean,
I would just like to see the numbers to just, see somebody, if they continued with it.
yeah,
Because
and
that's
the
what
first
that's
year
what
we
I'm-
did that. I mean, I brought in the numbers just to show it was growing, bless you, but like it has grown. I could also sort of get together some numbers about like in terms of how it's being used as well.
I'm just looking to see if they're continuing to use it.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
I have a question. Is Bulldog Academy based off of Canvas as well?
No, it's
Okay,
not.
all right.
Yeah. So yeah, no, I'll talk about that a little bit too,
Okay.
because part of this next piece is going to be about a provider related to that. But in terms of Canvas, are we all okay with me
Board motion for that as
to
well.
bring a
Yeah.
board motion forward just for the additional licenses?
So is the board okay with moving that forward?
Okay. 140 staff and students will be happy to hear that. The next agenda item I have on there is Bulldog Academy Handbook. When we addressed handbooks in the spring, I made mention that we were in the middle of making some revisions to the Bulldog Academy Handbook, but there was still some tinkering going on. So I did include in this last week's update the final update of the handbook, which very much mirrors our brick and mortar handbooks, at least in terms of its structure and its design. Obviously, many of the components and elements are a little bit different just because of the nature of the difference in type of education. But just in a quick scroll through without going over it in any sort of too much depth here, you will see in it that the big changes have to do with A couple of things. One, this originally came forward because the school counselors were concerned about students who were in Bulldog Academy, and we didn't really have strong mechanisms for triggering a removal from Bulldog Academy. This was not a good choice. We didn't have strong documented mechanisms. We also didn't have, we had to update some of our attendance work with things that we learned through the pandemic about the ways that we can define and oversee and enforce attendance policies. So a lot of the stuff that you're going to see in there is related to that, but I did also take the opportunity as we were switching from having two providers. We had Edison that we were working with through Keola. Keola is the provider, the umbrella for both. Edison and then Accelerate Ed for our elementary. So Edison was our secondary, Accelerated. We've seen Edison's quality and the touch points degrade over the past year, and in that, and having some conversations with the IU who confirmed that there were some issues there, we began to look at Accelerate Ed in order to get us and other districts to join at what seems to be a time of crisis for their competitor, is offering us the same price we were paying at Edison. One of the deterrents with Accelerate Ed prior was that they were a little bit more expensive, and we saw similar quality for a long time, and as a matter of fact, this year, for anyone who signs up this year to switch over, it's going to be half price for this year. So we'll actually see a reduction in cost, a pretty marked reduction in cost for Bulldog Academy students this year, and then next year when we resume, we'll be resuming at the same pricing that we are currently experiencing at the secondary ed level with Edison. With that, because Edison's supports are a lot more robust, we were able to redefine a lot of the responsibilities for mentor teachers, parents, and things like that. I won't go into much otherwise, but a lot of this was designed in order to make sure that we have strong entry points, strong monitoring points, and then a strong structure for us to be able to start engaging with families and students who are not being successful and begin reworking them back into the brick and mortar system. I don't know if there are any questions specifically about anything within the handbook or about anything I said. And if not, what I'll be looking for is, like our other handbooks, getting this approved at the board meeting, so putting a motion forward on Monday, and then in subsequent years, this handbook will join the rest of our handbooks, and at the same time, we'll be able to look at all of them concurrently.
Board okay with us moving this for an agenda item for Monday night for approval? Thank you.
Thank you.
I believe that's all we have for the education committee. Mr. Van Norman, I don't know if there's anything else that anyone wants to talk about?
I know I don't have anything. Anyone else have anything for the committee?
All right, we can close it.
Closing the educational committee meeting.
I'll go ahead and open the policy committee meeting and turn it over again to Dr. Stoker, please.
Thank you very much. We have 3 policies on the policy committee agenda for this evening. These came out and were released by the PNN by PSBA over the summer, I believe in June. They are related to federal programs. And again, we discussed earlier at the education committee that federal programs is going to be monitored this year, so it's been perfect timing as our policies need to be updated when we're being monitored. So I will put it out there. Does anyone want to see the policies in any more detail? Otherwise, I would ask that we move them to Monday night for approval at the board meeting.
Yes.
Any questions by the board members? Hearing none, go on to the board.
Okay,
Jenny.
thank you very much.
Anything else to review in policy?
Nothing.
Anybody from the board, policy? If not, I'll go ahead and close policy and turn it over to Ms. Franz for technology.
Okay, I will open the technology meeting and turn it over to Mr. Hill.
Hello, good evening, everybody.
Dr. Lee, do you want this, or Mr. Hill?
Yes, please.
Thank you.
Okay. What I'm going to go over today is first just a quick overview of our summer technology update. Our staff is doing a good job. We're on schedule for this time of the year where we should be. to have everything ready to go. So I just have some highlights on here, some of the things that we did, some of the important things that we did this summer. First one was the phone system CPU update. If you recall, a few board meetings ago, a few committee meetings ago, we talked about updating our phone system CPU. So that was completed early in the summer. What that does is that buys us another approximately 4 years of service, because our phone system is getting to the end of life. So by updating that CPU, that bought us another approximately 4 to 5 years onto our phone system. So it'll now be good until about 2029, 2030 school years when we'll be looking to possibly replace that. So that was done. The other big project that we did this summer was we rolled out our endpoint protection that we purchased at the end of last year. So we rolled that out to all of our devices, and we also attended a few training sessions. Our IT staff was involved in a few training sessions for that, and that went really well. Another big thing that we're doing this summer is Windows 11 updates on all of our Windows devices, staff, and we do have some student Windows devices yet too at the high school. We have some mobile labs, so we're updating all those devices to Windows 11. The majority of those are complete. There's still some stragglers out there that we have to get, but we've been doing that, and so that's nearly complete. In addition to that, we're also doing server updates. So we're updating the operating system, all of our servers. Really, Mr. Hawes is the man behind that. He's been doing a great job of keeping things running and trying to do that at times where we don't impact the daily routine of everybody. So he's been doing a great job of that. And again, we're probably about 80% complete on most of our servers. There's a few we still have to do. In addition, new Chromebooks. We did receive our new Chromebook order for 2 grade levels. So part of that process is when the Chromebooks come in, we have to unbox them. You know, we asset tag them, then we inventory them, and then of course we have to turn them all on and get them enrolled in our domain and get them ready for the school year. So those are all done, ready to go. In fact, those are ready to go, and we're already assigning those out to students. And that's my next point here. The Chromebooks, in addition to the new Chromebooks, we're to the point now where what we do is when we get all the Chromebooks back, we check them in, we go through them, update them, and then what we do is this point of the summer, we start checking them out again to the students, so it's recorded in the system who has them, and then we start moving them to the homeroom. So that's the point where we're at now. So that's really, we've been busy. We're always, technology's always busy all year long, so summer it's really crazy. So that's where we're at. Does anybody have any questions about our summer, how it's going?
I would just like to take a minute to compliment Mr. Hill and his entire technology department, which is truly only 3 other people beside himself. You don't even see the work that they're doing, it just happens. And that's pretty remarkable because everything's up, everything's running. If there is any downtime, it's minimal, and oftentimes it's done outside of the traditional work hours. So again, I just want to compliment you and your team on everything that you've done this summer already.
Thank you, thank you. It helps to have a great staff. They do a great job. We have a really, really good IT staff here. So the next thing I have on here is Google Workspace for Education Plus. As you may know, we use primarily Google for our account creation, for our email system, also for all of our Chromebooks. Again, all of our students, we have one-to-one devices from kindergarten all the way through 12th grade. They all have a Chromebook assigned to them. That's all managed through Google Workspace for Education. We currently have Google Workspace for Education. It's called Fundamentals. Essentially, that's a free version. That's what we've always had here. And it's really, it serves our purpose, okay, for what we have. But they do have other versions that you can pay for. And one of the things we've been looking at over the last few years is they have a version called Education Plus, which is their high-end version. So what I have here is I have a quote. It's a 3-year quote. And this was provided by IU13 because IU13 just this past summer announced that they now have they have an agreement with Google where they have consortium pricing. Okay, before it used to be about $5 a license, and we looked at it, but it was I felt it was a little out of our price range. So now with the IU13 consortium pricing, I had them give us a quote, and I believe that this is now very reasonable for us to purchase. So the quote is for a 3-year agreement, and it would cost about $6,187.50 per year, okay, for a 3-year agreement. Now, what the Workspace for Education Plus gives us, the main reason our department's interested in it, it gives us a lot of advanced security features for like email security. They have something called a security center where you can analyze, you can look at like attachments that are coming in the email, and they have something called a sandbox. You can put them in there and you can isolate them and look at them. They have investigation tools where if we get phishing attacks, things like that, we can actually go in, look at the emails that are doing it. We can even pull some emails back from staff. Like if we know they got a phishing email, we can actually pull it back right from the admin console. That's things that we can't do now. So there's a lot of advanced things in there. There's audit capabilities, and then there's things. Our staff, primarily our educational staff, our teachers, primarily use Google for their data storage. So what this does too is this also provides us a lot of tools for data protection. Okay, so that's really one of our primary things that we're interested in getting the paid version, the Education Plus. But then there's some other things that are really good for us too. With the paid version 2, we would also have advanced device management capabilities. Again, right now we have the free version, which again, it's fine, it works for what we do, but this provides a lot more granular things that we can do with device management. It also provides, the paid version would provide a premium Google Meet. During the pandemic, we received that for free. After pandemic, they took that back, so we only have the free version now. So if we're doing a Google Meet, you're limited to 1 hour, you're limited to only so many participants. Plus the premium gives you all the things like the breakout rooms, it gives you like attendance things, so you can do a lot more with it. So it gives you that as well. Another thing it does, it gives you increased storage. Not that we need it right now, but it's nice to have. It would give you an additional 20 gigabytes per licensed user. And it would also give us access to priority support. Right now, if you ever try to contact Google, it's through email and you never know if they're going to get back to you. This would actually give us a line where you can call somebody and talk to somebody, which we don't have right now. So it gives you priority support. So these are some of the things that the Google Workspace for Education Plus would give us. And again, the cost would be $6,187.50 per year, and that's a 3-year. That would be a 3-year license agreement, and that would be paid for from my technology budget through the existing budget. I don't need any increase to this. I have enough money in my budget to cover this. So what I'm asking for the board is if we could move this forward to the board agenda. But first, I'll open it up to any questions.
It's good.
Okay, so can I move that forward then to the board agenda next week?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And that's all I have for this evening.
Does anyone have any questions or concerns? And I will close the technology meeting.
And I shall open up the building and grounds, and I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Mann.
Thank you, Mr. Frederick. Evening, everyone. Hope you had a wonderful summer. The first one you can forget about. Unfortunately, after the talks with the dealership, somewhere along the line they sold it. So we'll have to go back to bidding for a new truck for the maintenance department. So that we'll wind up with the second one, going with the flooring update. So the abatement is completed.
Mr. Mann?
Yes.
Sorry, I have a question for that one.
Sure.
Is it helpful if the board would agree to something so that we don't, it seems like when we get to these points and you wait, I hate to see us wait again and then it goes away and waits again and goes away. Is there anything that we could do to assist with that, or is this just the process we have to deal with?
This was the process with this dealership, because back in June, we were already approved for the cost up to $55,000 for the total cost of the truck, the plow, and any branding we put on it.
Okay.
There was just a big communication loss between the dealership and myself. When asked for certain documents, they couldn't or didn't supply them in the time frame that I needed. And then when it came time it was actually over the weekend, the individual that I was working with from the fleet wasn't there, and they ended up selling it. Really no fault of myself or the fleet salesman.
Just
It was
support of us
just
to go
yes.
do that moving forward. That I hate to see you do all the work, try to get all this stuff, and then wait on us and.
Yep. No, so that's where I think we've come to the point now where we'll do the whole 3 weeks. We'll go out for bid. Hopefully we'll get multiple dealerships, and we'll find something that is get back in our price range.
Fantastic.
So this was a CoStar's dealer.
Okay.
And we learned through the multi-year process of trying to purchase 2 vans to ask the board to give us prior approval, which you did. Unfortunately, this dealership was less than communicative. So,
Yeah, you had our permission to go to
Yeah.
55,000, so it wasn't that.
I
No.
thought we did, but
Yep.
then
We left
I just
them
wanted to
down.
make sure that we were all covered, that I don't want
Yeah.
to see you guys
We
Oh, yes,
said
ma'am.
to get something
55,000,
that,
so, yeah.
thank you.
thank you.
Hopefully there'll be more options for you too.
Well, and that's the whole idea of going out for bid. And hopefully we'll find, a good price and somewhere local, close by.
Okay.
So this next thing on my agenda is the flooring project at the high school. This has been long awaited. The abatement was finished towards about the beginning of July. They started laying epoxy mid-July, the first week in July to the second week. Here's some of the classroom pictures of the finished product. Today, they actually laid the coloring in the hallways. They're supposed to be looking at being finished Wednesday and cleaning up Thursday into Monday of next week. So again, that's the second floor classrooms that were part of the grant, the state grant that we received.
Are you pleased with it?
Absolutely. Dr. Link and I both went up and looked at it relatively the same time. We're both pleased with the classrooms. I have not been up since the hallway was finished. Like I said, they just put that down today. I'll have to wait till Wednesday to get up on that. But if it's anything like the classrooms, absolutely, we'll be quite happy with it.
I think aesthetically, it looks so much better than the old flooring, and as far as man hours for maintenance on it moving forward, it has knocked that down to basically wet mopping. It's a pretty remarkable product.
So the color of the flooring is going to be different in the halls than in the classrooms?
Yes.
Okay, so this is like a gray kind of white?
It's
You can't-
real hard
can't-
to pick up the colors.
Okay.
There's grays, there's light blues,
Okay.
there's white actually in that flooring. It's real hard to get the right lighting to get there. I
Yeah,
think
it's hard.
one of them,
Yeah.
once it's finished, I'm sure we'll have the board around to see it.
Is the hallways like a solid color then?
It's a little lighter.
Oh, it is lighter. Okay.
Yep.
Looks great, so.
Does look good.
Yeah, and like I said, the pictures really don't give it any justice. To see it in person is a big difference.
I think your maintenance guys will be very happy.
Absolutely, the custodians will be absolutely, yes. Like Dr. Link said, the maintenance, when talking to the salesman and the people, it's literally walking around with a wet mop. And they used, if anyone remembers, Simple Green. They walk around with a bottle of Simple Green. The heavy, sticky areas where someone might have spilled soda or something, you hit it with a Simple Green and you wet mop it and you're done. There's no stripping, there's no waxing.
Oh my God, that's awesome. That's great.
That saves a lot of time.
Absolutely, a lot of time and money for wax and
Yeah,
stripping,
wax and
absolutely.
stripping.
Yeah. So we're quite excited.
Particularly time.
When we do our fall walkthrough, one of the talking points will be the continuation of this product even after the grant funds are expended as part of the multi-year plan to actually complete the first floor and the basement level in the high school.
Naive question, is there a possibility of another grant in the future, or?
I'm always looking. Once this one expires in 2027, all we can do is continue looking.
You did a heck of a job on this one,
Thank you.
congratulations, yeah, that was big bucks you got there, so.
As
Thank
a
you.
continuation of that, I'm just curious, I don't see it on here, and sorry if I'm jumping ahead, but for the summer work crew, I know we talked about painting. Can you go through what painting occurred at our buildings? Because I see some of these pictures and I would have liked to see some of the walls painted with those nice beautiful floors.
Well, so if you want, I can skip down to the summer work crew. if Dr. Link wants to click on some of the pictures, I guess. So our summer work crew did an outstanding job this year. The pictures that we have don't really show everything that they did. They painted all of the hallways out at Peters Elementary, from the gym side all the way down to the IU, both wings. They painted the guidance counselor's office, another room for the guidance counselor. The picture with the different colors is a billboard actually up here at Slatington Elementary that they did for Slatington. They painted the front of the stage. They didn't do much at the high school, only because we did a lot of the painting there last summer. But absolutely, with the new flooring, the classrooms have to get done. Yeah, yeah, and it will be on the list. And again, I thank the board immensely for the 8 kids that we had. The amount of work that these boys did this summer is mind-boggling. Between the painting, the mulching, they moved furniture. They'll be moving furniture come Wednesday to help move everyone back in on the 3rd floor. Endless jobs that they've done for us.
Sounds good.
And I hope next year we'll have as many kids applicants as we did this year.
You want to talk about the returning kids mentoring?
Sure. So we'll have 3 juniors and a sophomore that were this year. We had 4 seniors return this year, so hopefully we'll have those 3 juniors and that 1 sophomore coming next year. I think the big reason that they did the work that they did was they had those 4 seniors, the underclassmen, to look up to. Those 4 seniors, the foreman pretty much picked 2 and 2 seniors, 2 underclassmen, and said, go do this work. And they took the other 4 and went and did another job, and he bounced in between. Where before it was 5 kids and he stuck with them. So you're kind of limited to your work. I'm hoping next summer we'll have those kids return and we can do the same thing. Have the 4 returning kids, 4 new kids, and we can have that endless cycle of younger kids moving up, which I think made a big difference.
You will notice on the upcoming August 11th board agenda, one of those young men did so well over the last few years in this program. We are placing him on the agenda to be hired as a permanent part of the maintenance department.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and it's a direct correlation to his experience here and his time here and understanding the district and what we want to do for our facilities. So we're excited about that kind of classroom to job site pathway.
Fantastic.
That's fantastic. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So then we'll bounce back up. So again, at the June meeting, we had talked about water softeners for the various buildings. We have 2 quotes. We actually called in McClure to get us a quote, and the reason is McClure is a CoStar's contractor. So they'll get us a CoStar's price. So once I get those prices, again, we'll reach out to the board to let you know. I think we were approved for $20,000 per building for water softeners. So if we're in that range, we'll let you know and when construction can start. The second one is, or actually that's my third, the auditorium rigging system was installed over the summer. So that's up and running. There are some minor fixes that will have to be made, but they'll do those on downtime, only because of the limited time frame that they had before they had to go to another job.
Are you happy with what they did?
Once they do the minor fixes, yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes, we will be quite happy. But besides that, the system is a real nice system. Yes. Yep. Last is softball and baseball fields, actually second last. At this point, Lehigh County, the district did not release the permits. The water basin still has the lack of vegetation where needed. in order for them to close out that permit. The last I talked actually was this morning to Tyler. They're looking at possibly still asking the planning commission to come out and do a test, or to look at it and do their survey to see if they'll close the permit. But at the end of the conversation, he wasn't 100% convinced that was the best way to go. So hopefully within the next day or two, I'll find out exactly which direction they're going. If they're gonna come out and reseed and then wait for that to grow to bring the planning commission back out, or if they're gonna come out and try and get it approved.
So that's on the basin side.
Yes.
What about the actual fields and the outfields of the fields?
Mhm.
When I saw, I think that's us watering them now, I'm not
Yes.
sure.
Yep.
So thank you for doing that, because they didn't look great.
So
And
yeah,
then
at one
the
point.
main field though, my
Yep.
question too is the dirt on the main field.
Mhm.
That had more weeds on it than I was expecting it to have. And that takes time then to repair, to maintain that field. I have to ask the question in this way. Was that the right stuff used on the field?
So yes.
Yes,
So it
yes,
is.
hold on. Yes, absolutely it was.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So it's what they call summer grass. It grows every year. Usually what happens is we'll let it go for a week or two. The summer grass grows. We'll go in and rough it up. We'll let it go for a week or two because it's not being played on.
Sure.
And it's not our primary concern at that time. We did it at softball. I don't know if you watched closely. We had some weeds on it. They went in, roughed it up. The weeds were dead within a couple days. That's what we do throughout the summer. Even before these new fields, it was the same thing we did. If you let them go completely, it will die. The summer grass will die over the winter. And come spring, we come in, we rototill it like we do every spring. They disappear, and the fields are ready to be played on. So, I mean, it's something that it's an endless cycle.
Sure.
Yeah.
Was there any more discussion about access to the fields for the teams early?
We will not allow access until the fields are released by the Lehigh Valley Planning Commission, because we don't want the contractors to say they're yours now, even if we're not happy with them. We want to make sure that we receive the release permits from the Planning Commission.
And then we can discuss whether
Right.
that's an option.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
That's primarily what we're waiting on, is that release of the fields from the county.
So they're the ones who, thank you.
I'm sorry, one last question, just for our fall programs coming up for the soccer and the baseball. I know they weren't necessarily part of the softball, baseball fields, but there's still some practice that goes on in that area.
Mm-hmm.
Will those teams be able to be practicing on those areas come next week or so?
So soccer right now is still, I think still has some mesh in it that they use to cover the grass. So with that mesh being there, it can be a tripping hazard. Once that mesh deteriorates, we may, but again, I don't foresee that happening within the next week or two. As far as football, being that football is still a part of the complex itself, I don't foresee it opening. I mean, we can't very well give football their practice field, but yet soccer can't, or
Sure.
baseball can't play fall ball, or softball can't play fall ball. I still. I'm looking at Mary Ann, and she kind of agrees with me too. It's one whole complex. I can't give one and not the other.
I just didn't know if they were touched separately when that was coming up, and then, so I'm fine with it not being touched by anybody. Do we have the space and availability for those teams to practice come next week? With that, there's schedules and you got all that covered. Perfect, that's what I like to hear.
It'll be right outside the middle school, the fence field, and then alongside the middle school as well. It's going to be double lined, so it can be dual purpose for field hockey and soccer.
Okay. And football will still be, weren't they practicing back here or
Up
something?
by the javelin.
Right. Okay, thank you.
Now, again, hopefully within a short time frame, we can get a resolution to this.
Sounds good.
I think it's important that we get that information out, because there's a lot of bad information
Yes.
going around in the community about, what's happening, et cetera. And clearly, when it comes down to it, we don't even own these darn fields yet, but yet we're getting all the grief.
Right.
So,
And we're still trying to maintain them.
the best we can, so.
And last, so for the 25-26 school year, I need to make my first purchase of my janitorial supplies. So this would be about a third of what I'll need for the school year. So with any questions and the board's approval, I'd like to move that to Monday for approval. Again, this is the first phase. This is mostly my janitorial supplies. I'll have then a paper, more or less my tissues, toilet paper. That'll be closer to December. And then my paper towels will probably be in 2026.
That's covered by your budget.
That is all, yes, it is in my budget. That's planned on every year. Yep. So any questions? And do I get to have the board's approval?
Yes.
Thank you. And that's all I have.
Mr. Mann, before you close,
Sure.
I know it's not on the agenda. At the end of the school year last year, myself and two of our students, we presented about a parking spot painting project, and I know that there were some questions that came up from the board. And speaking with Mr. Mann, he had said that in an update, he answered the questions for you, but I just want to make sure that we're good, because if so, I'm going to start getting the information out to our seniors and planning that and making sure that they can get their material and we can move forward. So just want to make sure we're good with that. All the questions that you guys had were answered. Okay, great, appreciate it, thank you.
Any other questions from the board or anyone else? Seeing none, I will close this meeting and move on to Mrs. Culp and the finance.
And I will in turn ask Nikki to start us off.
Thank you, Mrs. Cole. Good evening. I just have a couple updates from food service, starting with we are still qualifying for CEP, which is great news for our district, to offer free breakfast and lunch again. This is actually going on our 4th year with CEP, but it's our 2nd year in our 4-year cycle, because the first couple years I kept reapplying for it to extend that 4-year cycle out. So this is year 2 of our current cycle, within that 4-year cycle. And I did notify families and students and staff of this last week on the 29th of July. So they are aware of that. We also do a beginning of the year letter where we provide that information that gets sent home as well, and also posted on our website. And then I also have listed here, we have to update our pricing. So I know it's a little confusing. Everybody gets their free breakfast and lunch, one of each per student per day. Some students who opt to buy a second meal at breakfast or lunch, we do offer that. So, given that food cost is increasing all the time, every 3-6 months or so, we do increase slightly our meal prices each year. And these are the meal prices that are updated in our handbook, also updated in our beginning of the year packets, and posted on our website, for parents and students and staff to refer to each year. So they're all listed there. And we have partnered with I Have, I Need. This would be our 2nd or 3rd year with them, 2nd year, which is a company that basically takes any food that would otherwise be wasted and reallocate those to local food banks, shelters, food pantries, things like that. And at the end of each year, the CEO of the company sends me how many pounds of product were donated from Northern Lehigh, which was 3,834 pounds of goods. So that could include, milk, juice, cupped fruit, things like that. We try to, limit our waste as much as possible by utilizing what we call share tables during breakfast and lunch services. So if a student opts to not drink their juice or their milk or, you know, open their bag of apple slices, whatever it would be. They put it on our share table rather than throwing it in the trash. With the program that we're running, we can't reutilize that and like recycle it and offer it the next day because we claim our meal counts and get reimbursed for that. So that would kind of be like double dipping. So we try to, you know, share the product with nurses to have on hand for snacks for the kids, you know, for any diabetic students that need a snack throughout the day or something like that. We actually set the share table items out at each meal to, you know, up for grabs for any other student who's extra hungry that day and wants to take off the share table. But after those are all, you know, exerted, then that's when the company I Need comes around weekly to all the schools to pick up those products and redistribute them to the community.
If I can just add to that,
Yeah.
I Need is actually a nonprofit. They make zero money off of this. They are truly looking to just redistribute the food to people who are in need, and so it doesn't go to waste. And this is another one of those examples through Nikki's leadership here, through Mrs. Fink's leadership, that we were the first school district in Lehigh County, actually in the Lehigh Valley, to make a connection with them, and now that has expanded out to a handful of other districts throughout the area. You know, so compliments to Mrs. Fink on
Thank you.
really getting this up and running with the nonprofit, because they're really doing good work, and a lot of the food goes right to Northern Lehigh Food Pantry.
That's terrific. You're giving everybody here first dibs, and like you said, the nurses, I'm sure could use what you have, and then the students, but helping the community, that's terrific.
Thank you. And then just my last bullet here is just some upcoming caterings that we have on the books that I can't believe are here already. Feels like the summer just flew on by. But our new teacher orientation, Monday, August 11th. Our welcome back breakfast for all of our staff is coming up on Tuesday, August 19th. And then we also are hosting again, I believe it's our second year, right, with CLIU teacher induction. August 12th, 13th, and 14th. So we're looking forward to that. And that's all I have for tonight.
Thank you. It sounds like things are going well.
Yes. Yep. Everything's going good.
Glad to hear it.
Thank you.
Who's going to cover Carrie's?
Is there a way, supposing a local person would like to get some of this food, do they know how to go about making that connection or what have you?
We don't have...
Go ahead.
Yeah, we don't have anything like posted on our website per se. I believe the company or the nonprofit reached out to Dr. Link initially, and then we all had a meeting and came up with a plan from there.
So for an individual an individual requester, they would not come to the district. They would go to one of the community-based, like the food bank or the food pantry, for that direct support. If we would receive a call here, we would, direct them to those local support agencies. This nonprofit actually has a team of strictly volunteers that goes out to, Mrs. Fink and her team will have everything out by the loading dock. They will come pick it up at the loading dock and make sure it doesn't sit there for long at all, so there's no spoilage, and then they drive it immediately to the recipient agency. So it's like a well-oiled machine for the logistics.
Yeah, we actually don't have him come to all 4 schools. So Alex actually does a weekly sweep. It's always on a Thursday because sometimes we have Fridays off. So Thursday just was a good day to select. And Alex will, every Thursday, that's part of his routine, bring everything over to Peters because that's the best location for them to pick up from. So they just do one stop at Peters with everything from all 4 schools and take it where it needs to go. So, and then, if somebody reaches out, we typically have the Backpack Buddies program that we would start them on to, rather than, just come and give bulk food to somebody. We would refer, like Dr. Link said, to the other local agencies, but.
Thank you.
So.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Fink. Mrs. Molatoris asked that I share the following information this evening. The auxiliary salary schedule will be on upcoming for your consideration. We are not recommending any changes. If anybody would like to see a copy of the auxiliary salary schedule, I have it here. But there are no changes recommended for the 25-26 school year. So this is like the fees that we pay to like the school district physician, the school district doctor, the dentist, the dental hygienist, game employees, the announcers, those type of positions throughout the district, which are not part of like Schedule E within the contract. It's the auxiliary payments. So if anybody's interested, I can share this with you, but we are not recommending any changes for the 25-26 school year. As we go into the 26-27 school year budget planning, which will be in the spring, we'll bring this forward to see, do we want to make any changes? Okay, no takers? Okay. Well, they're here if you would like one. Next, Mrs. Molatoris asked that I share, if you recall, the school board has previously approved administration to secure district insurance, and we have done that. With the following motion will appear on the agenda for approval this upcoming Monday evening. So we're looking to appoint MEMIC, which is Maine Employees Mutual Insurance Company, as a district workers' compensation. This is a change for us, but we believe that this will actually benefit the school district and our employees. Award insurance coverage for the 25-26 school year to the following companies. I'm not going to read through all of these here, but these will all be on the Monday night agenda for final approval, and Mrs. Molatoris strongly urges, along with myself and the rest of administration, that the school board supports these recommendations for our insurance needs.
I'm looking at that first one, and it's like an estimated premium of $57,000, a decrease of $60,000. It's actually dropped in half. Is that correct?
Compared to the previous provider.
The previous provider, they're
Yes.
they're half of what the other.
Yeah,
one
so
was.
this would be a new to Northern Lehigh, but gaining ground in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
So she went out and was looking at
Yes.
different.
Yep. She went out and solicited proposals from different providers.
I remember she was talking about it. I'm just amazed that we got it for like half price. That's
Yeah, I'm shocked.
insurance.
Is there a consortium involved here or not? Or is it just
Not for these individual ones like this, not like our actual healthcare provider, which we do through.
Yeah, I know that.
Okay.
This one we don't have the same.
Correct.
So she did all this.
She goes out and engages with all these providers.
Impressive, thank you.
That's great.
And then the last update is kind of a null update, because there's been no movement at the state level with the state budget, unfortunately. It is aggravating that we do not yet know what our state resources are going to be. I appreciate everybody's support that did contact our legislators, asking for them to not only move forward with the state budget, but to also take a serious look at the cyber school, charter cyber school funding mechanisms. And I know a number of you have reached out to our state, in particular our state senators, because it's now at the Senate's chamber for consideration. And we are hopeful that they move on that this year. I will be attending another state legislative function this Thursday with a number of Lehigh County superintendents and the IU director at Schuylkill County Intermediate Unit. We're taking the message up there now because the chairperson of the state Senate Education Committee will be there. So we're going there to engage with her again and encourage them to not only pass a responsible budget, an education-friendly budget, but to also take action on reforming cyber school funding.
You think we have a chance?
I think on the cyber school part in particular, Mrs. Culp, I think there's a better chance than there has ever been, and there was significant momentum. Unfortunately, that seemed to wane a little bit when they decided to go on recess. But we, as a group of educational leaders around the county and the state, are not on recess, and we are continuing to advocate that this happens this year.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's all I have on behalf of Mrs. Molatoris as far as updates for the Finance Committee.
Does anybody have anything else they'd like to discuss? Hearing none, I will close the committee and then turn this over to Natalie for the Extra and Co-Curricular Committee.
Okay, and we will now open the Extra and Co-Curricular Committee meeting, and we are turning it over to Dr. Ling.
Yes, thank you. And if I understood the conversation at the very beginning of opening the committee meetings tonight, Mr. Van Norman, congratulations, you are now the co-chair of the Extra and Co-Curricular Committee, which we typically refer to as the ECC Committee. Okay, thank you, sir.
I thought Bob had a different committee, but it's this one, so yeah, congratulations.
So tonight I'm going to turn it over to begin with the first kind of major bullet here, and then the sub-bullets to Dr. Rush Wallace for athletics and extracurricular summer update.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I'll go ahead and apologize. My update isn't as robust and in detail as my colleagues, but moving forward, I will rectify that. So the first thing, in conjunction with Mrs. Dada and Dr. Bali, we'll actually meet next week. We are looking to add unified sports through the Special Olympics. The first sport would be bocce, and that provides an opportunity for both students with and without intellectual disabilities to compete on a team together. Initially, they would provide the funding, they would provide the bocce set for us. It would just be a matter of funding a stipend position for an advisor for it. So again, it's in the very preliminary stages of that. I just wanted to put it out there on a radar, on everyone's radar, and kind of give a heads up with that. At the end of this past school year, I was approached about having a volleyball intramurals at the high school. There was a large popularity for it at the middle school, and now that those students are transitioning to the high school, they're asking for it there. We had an open intramurals position, so that worked well. That will be provided in the spring, and she will be on Monday night's board agenda for approval. And then for wrestling, we've had about 10 girls coming over the summer, so I think that shows that there's a really good interest for it as they're starting their first season. However, we will need to purchase possibly 1 or 2 new mats. Not only do our teams use it, but NLYA also uses it. So the practice mats are getting used every day, multiple times.
So in particular with the mats, we have 3 mats that they use in the wrestling room. And normally we would recommend that we replace those on a rotation. One of them is in excellent shape, one of them is in good shape, one of them has holes in it. So we would like to replace that one, but we would also like to see if this committee supports us replacing 2 of them at the same time this year. Funding is within the athletic budget, so we could actually replace the one that's in, needs significant repair. We don't even know if the holes can be repaired. The other one that's in good shape but not great shape, and then go to a rotation of singles. And then the one that's kind of like okay right now, we would keep as like a backup if we need it. The reason why we're requesting that this committee supports buying 2 of them this year is because we're actually they're going to have increased usage now that we have 2 varsity wrestling teams. The NLYAA, like Dr. Rush Wallace mentioned, does use them, but they actually purchased and gave to the district the mats that hang on the wall around the wrestling room to just make sure that there's no injuries with students, because it's a little bit tighter quarters in there. It's not a full-size gym. So they actually purchased those and let the district use them. So we're looking to kind of cooperate, and we would say, if the board so chooses, we would get 2 mats this year. This funding would come through the athletics budget through a combination of the traditional budget, but then we also have the budget for specific to things like repairs. Typically, we have about $30,000 set aside in that budget in case there's any significant repairs in the weight room. and we're not anticipating any. However, we're not going to make the final recommendation until the weight room's inspected by Advantage, I believe the company is called. That usually happens early in the fall semester.
Is there enough room for the extra mat in there?
So what we would do is we would probably find a place to store it and then bring it out if we need it. But we can get pretty creative with storing stuff in the backside of the high school.
Okay, but there's enough room for folks to use them?
Oh, yes.
In the whole room?
Yeah.
Do you have an estimated cost of
Yes,
what that is?
I'll look to Dr. Rush Wallace because I forget.
So the one was 5,700, so you can anticipate 11.4, roughly.
Thought you were gonna say like
I know.
20,000.
20,000. No.
Well, so keep in mind, these are not the full-size rollout mats that they use during competition.
Okay, they're for the practice.
Correct.
Okay.
Can't we just give the old mat to the girls, team, and let them?
Matt, I'm gonna hit you.
I already did.
Just kidding. Okay, I was only kidding.
The Title IX coordinator says no.
I'm done, that's it, yeah, I'm in. Okay. That bocce, my grandson participates in that at his school, and it's a wonderful thing to see those kids getting together. They've now expanded it to where they go bowling like once a month, and they love it, so that's a great sport.
It's
I
awesome
think.
because there are multiple aspects to it. It's not just the bocce. There's a club part of it as well that they also have.
Yeah.
They do like a service learning within the school district as well. So there's 3 components to it. And feel free to chime in because
Sure.
I know I'm probably overlooking some of the
There's
more
there's
important
three to really have the culture of inclusivity. Part of it is 2 times a month they would do like a club, an inclusive club they would call it, and then there's also whole school activities that need to be done just to keep that whole idea going, to have everybody included and things like that. I think Lunch and Learn will be a perfect spot to be able to do some of those things. So, I mean, money-wise, they're going to pay for the coach. We actually have a coach that's on board. So everybody's really, we just want to get everything tightened up before we kind of present.
That sounds great.
So if it's okay, by the way, there is an MOU that we would like to ask the board if we can put on the agenda to get the ball rolling, so to speak. Sorry.
Well done.
Don't get it.
Does everyone go with that? Does anyone have any concerns? Can we move that to the board?
I do have a question about the volleyball. So the volleyball, it's the girls' volleyball that we're looking at?
intramurals.
Intramurals, okay. When I toured during Lunch and Learn, there were quite a few girls who came up to Dr. Bali and mentioned volleyball.
Yes.
So if there's a good participation, is there perhaps a plan in the future to consider it for a team?
I think that's definitely a discussion that we can have. It'll be really creative with gym space, but
Yeah.
I think if the need is, if the want is there, I think it's definitely warrants a conversation and getting creative with the schedules.
I didn't even know if there were other teams in our.
That's what I was
Oh,
gonna-
absolutely.
Are there a lot of teams in the valley?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, great. Thank you, because like I said, they came up and they knew I was a board member and then they wanted to talk about
Yeah.
the volleyball. So, thank you. I'm glad to hear that it's starting.
Yes.
Great. Thanks, Matt.
Will you be coming back to us with the request for the mats, or are you looking for an update?
I was just going to
Sorry.
ask if this committee supports the wrestling mats, 2 of them, to the August 11th board agenda.
Agenda, yes.
Safety first.
Yep. As well as, like Mrs. Dada and Dr. Rush Wallace mentioned, we do have a faculty member who's interested in being a coach as well. So, we'll bring all that forward Monday night for full consideration.
And they fund it for the first 3 years for $1,000 stipend, which is really nice. They also provide the bocce set, and they provide jerseys. So if we can get it, yeah, if we can get it going.
And after
get
that
enough interest.
even after that 3 years, they encourage you to fundraise, but if you don't meet that benchmark, they don't just drop you. They'll pick up the slack and continue it.
How many students would be able to participate?
So they-
Pairs, how many pairs?
Well, they ask for a minimum of 6. A
Okay.
team is a minimum of 6.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'd like information on the company that's gonna support this. I just think it's awesome. I'd just like to learn more.
Special Olympics.
Oh, it's the Special
Special
Olympics.
Olympics.
Oh, terrific.
Mhm.
Thank you.
And they also have districts and, so they go with, I believe, the basketball team, right? To the districts at Hershey, if that were to, we would be,
Right.
get that far. But it is a truly competitive sport.
Yes.
It's not, which is really nice. And they'll also support then funding for those things, if we were to get a team and be that competitive with that.
So that's like what Whitehall High School hosted the one time, the Special Olympics. So this would be something that would
This
happen
is one of, this is
there.
a competitive part of the Special Olympics.
Yeah, they have bocce and then they have track. So bocce is in the winter and then track would be during the spring.
Thank you.
Okay, if anyone has any other questions, concerns, or nothing to close?
I have concerns.
Okay.
I have questions. The high school gymnasium, is there any way we can get the American flag moved to be in the center? It's to the left of the gym, and if you're sitting on the home side, a lot of times you cannot see that flag. I mean, I did look, there is a banner in the middle of the gym. If we could just swap it, that would be awesome. I just feel that when you go to other gyms, during a game or something, the flag is usually in the center of the gym. Ours is like all the way over in the corner. I'm just wondering if we could just flip whatever's there so everybody can see the American flag, like before a basketball game or
When you say center, do you mean, I don't know that we could hang it from the rafters, you still mean on the wall?
on the wall.
Okay.
Yes, yeah, whatever. I think there's like a big banner there right now. You could just flip them. But like I know when I'm at a home game for basketball, so I'm sitting there, I can't see the flag, and it's like you're looking underneath things, trying to see that flag. Where if it was in the center, everybody in the audience, could see it. That's if it's possible. If not,
We can look at that.
okay. Thank you.
Any other concerns, questions before we close? Okay, then we'll close. Extra co-curricular.
Any other questions, any other items this evening?
Move to adjourn.
We're done.
Thank you, everyone.
I'm gonna stay.